and welcome back to another edition of Marlborough Junior Reporters. Today we are here joined by Tom at Goodnow Farms in Sudbury, Massachusetts. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Josh. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So my first question for you today is, when did this chocolate farm start?
We started making chocolate in 2016, but it actually started a long time before that when my wife and I started doing it as a hobby in 2005.
My next question for you is, do you live on this site, or is this one of your businesses?
We don't live in the factory, but we do live on, this is our home, our property. So this is what used to be the garage behind our house.
And my next question is, obviously, it's very nice property. How many acres is it?
It's 11 acres. It used to be, back in the 1800s, it was a farm. They had a couple hundred acres.
Is that where Goodnow Farms comes from?
And that's where the name Goodnow Farm. It was owned by the Goodnow family for a very long time.
Thank you.
Hi, Tom. I'm Anna. It's so nice to meet you.
Hi, Ann. Nice to meet you, too.
And speaking of the history, could you tell us a little bit more about the Goodnow Farms and all of its history?
Sure. So our farm was built in the late 1700s, and the barn was built shortly thereafter. It was a working farm for almost 200 years. They had everything from cow, sheep, pigs, and horses. And then back in the 2000s, they subdivided the property, and now it's numerous homes. We have 11 acres. It's the original farmhouse and the barn.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sammy, and my question is, what happens to the chocolate you make other than making your own bars? Do you, give it to other people to make bars with? What happens to the chocolate?
We only sell our chocolate bars, and we also make hot cocoa, but we don't sell the chocolate to chefs because we are really small and we only have enough to sell for chocolate bars. Even as it is, it's hard for us to keep up with demand because we have a lot of people who really like our chocolate.
Thank you. Where do you buy the chocolate you make? Or where could I buy it?
Our chocolate is available all over the country in small, not grocery stores, like small specialty shops, gourmet shops. And it's a real specialty product, but you can find it all over New England in local shops, local stores.
Thank you. Oh, what are your chocolate bars made of other than chocolate? Do you put flavors in them?
So our chocolate bars, we make our chocolate bars with nothing else except cacao beans and sugar. So a lot of the bars you buy at grocery stores have a lot of different additives in them, but ours, it's just the beans and the sugar. So it's actually pretty good for you because chocolate comes from a fruit. So the stuff we make actually retains a lot of those really healthy antioxidants and other really good stuff for you.
Okay.
We do have flavored bars, but we never add any chemicals or any artificial flavors. Everything is natural flavors. So if we have for example, a passion fruit bar, we actually get dried passion fruit powder from a family farm in Ecuador, and they ship it up here, and we add that right to our chocolate.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
So I had the question of, what do you generally do with that 200-year-old barn year-round?
So the barn we use when we have tours. We do tours of the chocolate factory sometimes, and we'll go out there and we'll do tastings in the barn. The biggest thing we do is every Halloween, we decorate the entire barn as a haunted barn. And we sell tickets to people, and they can come in and they can get scared in the barn, and we have a big party underneath, and it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Hi, Tom. My name is Joaquin.
Hi, Joaquin.
So with all of this property, what do you do you have any plans to add anything to it? Would you like to expand this building or stuff like that to make more room for making chocolate?
We actually need more room for making chocolate because we can't keep up with demand, but we don't want to make anything bigger here just because it's also where we live, and also the neighbors might be annoyed. So we're thinking about maybe expanding to a larger space. One of the reasons we haven't up until now is our kids are very young and we want to spend time with them, but as they're getting older, we have the opportunity to maybe do a little bit more.
So speaking of your kids, do you think that you would like them to continue this business as a family-owned business in the future?
You know, I want them to do whatever it is that they're passionate about. I don't know if chocolate is it. They really love what we're doing here. But chocolate's a really difficult business. Economically, it's really hard, very slim profit margins. We work directly with farmers. We pay them a premium for their cacao beans, and supply chain issues are always a problem too. So there are a lot of challenges with this kind of business. If it's something that they want to do as they get older, we absolutely will support them in that, but I'm not sure it's going to be their thing.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Monica Rogan, and I am a chocolate maker, and this is our Goodnow Farms Chocolate Factory. So thanks for coming. This looks like a garage, right? So it was supposed to be our garage, but then we didn't have space to store our beans. So this is where we store all of our cacao beans. That's what's in all of these boxes, or these containers. The chocolate that you're used to, it's made by giant, massive companies, okay? That's kind of how it always was. This is the way that chocolate started. It never started in a small factory like this. And chocolate that giant, massive companies make, they get beans. They don't care about the quality of the beans. They just want to get a lot of them. And they want to just crush them, combine them, and turn them into a food product as fast as they can. So for chocolate, the definition that the FDA states is that to be called a semi-sweet chocolate, you have to have a minimum of 10% cacao in it, and the rest you can have a sweetener and other stuff. Okay, so if you think 100% of a bar, only 10% needs to be cacao beans. That 90% could be sugar and other stuff. When I make chocolate, it's different. So the chocolate that I make, it's like at least usually 70% cacao seeds. I focus on like creating a food that has more like fiber in it, stuff in it, tastes like what it comes from, without like putting vanilla in to mask mold flavors, without putting in soy lecithin to make the equipment run better. Naturally, cacao originated in the Amazon, okay? This is where all cacao originated like thousands of years ago. And then it traveled north and south to different countries in Central America, South America. And so all of this is naturally from there.
Hello, I am Helena. I am Tom's favorite child, of course. And yeah, I'm in 5th grade, 10th turning 11.
So, first of all, my name is Joaquin. What does your life look like every day on the farm?
It's pretty normal, just basically as any other kids. I wake up, I get dressed. It's not really different than any other kids. It's just that my parents are home for a lot of the time.
So what do you do, like after obviously you come home from school, what do you kind of do around here?
Sometimes I taste test a whole bar of chocolate. My favorite is, you probably have never heard of this one. It's hard to pronounce. Herbaceous green Sichuan pepper.
You just impressed me. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So, how much of the chocolate making process have you been informed on?
Pretty much all of it, but I don't really remember a lot of stuff. So first, below us, there is the bean room. There are giant tubes filled with beans. We grind them up in the mixer. I think it's there. Yes, I think it's there. Then we put it in the freezer, then make imprints on it and wrap it.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Sammy. And what is I think you already told us your favorite kind of
Yes.
bar. But how many kinds of bars are there, do you know?
I think I'll have to go downstairs to check that. I'd say there's like 25. What? 25.
20. That's really cool. That's a lot of them.
I didn't even know that.
16.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anna. It's so nice to meet you.
You
And, just a question. How much of the chocolate do you get to taste?
All of it.
All of it?
All of it.
You're living my dream right now.
I'd swap places with you if you have pizza every night.
My dad makes pizza.
Lucky.
Yeah, that's basically it. Thank you.
Hi, Helena. I'm Josh. So my question for you is, when you're older, would you want to take over the chocolate farm?
I mean, I like tasting the chocolate and eating the chocolate. It's good chocolate, but I don't really think I'll plan on taking it over because I'm not that into chocolate. I like other stuff like drawing.
Thank you.
Cacao is a tropical fruit. So you can see in this picture right here, this is the cacao pod. It's growing on a branch, okay? It's like the shape of a football, and it's got like a melon thick shell. It is a little lumpy. You've been there actually. Yes, so Helena and Tara have come with us to Oregon to visit our farmers, and they've actually helped us harvest cacao pods from the trees. What the farmers do is they actually take the seeds out of the fruit, they collect them, and then they put them in giant fermentation boxes. After you're done fermenting, the farmers put all of the beans to dry. We have 7 different farming groups we work with in different countries. We work in Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador. We get maybe a couple tons of cacao from them every year, and we turn that into chocolate bars.
Hi, my name's Tom Rogan. I'm 12, and my parents make chocolate.
Hi, and my question for you is, what's your favorite kind of chocolate that your parents make?
Well, funny story. My parents actually made a chocolate bar especially for me because I'm not a fan of dark chocolate. But they made a white chocolate bar just for me, so that's probably it.
What I want to do now is show you some of these beans, okay? So you can come over. I'm gonna come over here, stick your noses in. Tell me what you smell. Vinegar. You smell it? So there's still some vinegar left over, but it's not baked in, okay? So the outer skin you don't want to eat because that has been protecting the interior bean from the environment. So the interior bean, this is a fermented and dried seed, okay? So what I want you to do is smell it. So if you want to try it, try it. This is where all chocolate comes from. This is the bean or the seed. So it's not sweet because there's no sugar added. But does this taste like chocolate to you? No. A little bit. A little bit. A little bit. But not yet because I haven't done everything in my kitchen to turn it into chocolate because I changed the chemical composition more with what I do upstairs. We'd have to hand sort through the beans, and what we do is we look for defects. We look for like moldy beans, super thin beans, slaty beans. We pull them out because a bad bean can screw up a whole batch of chocolate. If you've got mold somewhere, you will taste it in my chocolate because I don't hide behind any artificial flavors or vanilla. I don't do that.
When you're working around the chocolate factory, do you have to wear like special shoes, like shoe coverings because something might spill?
Great questions. Yes. So when you're working in the chocolate factory, you have to wear closed-toed shoes. That's really important because you have big equipment and you don't want, if anything falls, you want to make sure you're protected. Also, it gets kind of messy. So you just know that whatever you have on could get destroyed. Chocolate stains because it's got such a high fat content. So usually you just wear stuff that you don't worry about it getting messy.
So what does your day as a chocolate maker from start to finish look like?
Wow, so every day is different. It also depends on where we are making a batch of chocolate. If I had to estimate, it takes about a month to completely make one batch of chocolate. We're single origin makers, so when we make a batch, that means we're getting one bean type ready to make a type of bar. So like a batch of our pure dark Peru Ucayali chocolate or our pure dark Aso Chivite Guatemala chocolate. The beans come from that village in Guatemala or that community in Peru. And we have to be careful because we have to only get those beans ready because all beans taste differently. You don't want to mix and match. So it takes a long time because you have to get the beans out from the bins downstairs. You have to sort through them, pull out of the bad beans. You have to then bring them upstairs. You have to roast them. Then you have to crack them and winnow the shells. Then you have to get them ready to put them in the grinders. And then grinding alone takes 5 to 6 days because you're grinding to decrease the particle size as well as to air out volatile acids to let the flavors combine in different ways. And that's the beauty of making chocolate. Plus, we freshly press our own cocoa butter, which takes a long time too. So then after you do all that and make the chocolate, then you have to pour it into bar molds, and then you have to let the bars set, take them out of the molds, wrap them up, package them up, get them ready to go. every day you just have to check where you are in that process. So you come in, see what's going on the schedule. If you have to roast beans, wrap bars, get shipments out to vendors, work on marketing, doing graphic design for the labels, talk to a store that sells your chocolate, or talk to a customer that bought your chocolate online, or do a lot of taste testing, because you're always doing experiments in the kitchen. So it's always different every day.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
How do you decide what flavors of chocolate you want to like create next?
How do you decide what you want to eat in a day?
That looks good.
What sounds good, what you're craving, what you're thinking about? That's kind of how we think about what we want to make with chocolate. So for example, last spring, we were thinking about a new chocolate bar that we wanted to make, and summer was coming, and we were so cold and thinking about the summer and thinking about what we would enjoy in the summer. We said, oh, we'd really love a chocolate banana split. So we decided to make a chocolate banana split bar.
Cool.
What got you started in making chocolate? Like, what happened that made you say, I want to make chocolate?
The thing that got us started making chocolate was that we couldn't find chocolate that we enjoyed eating. So we decided to make it ourselves.
That's great. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anna. It's so nice to meet you. And one question I have for you is, how do you, like, besides coming up with all these amazing flavors, has there been any flavors that have gone or like that weren't really good?
Oh yeah. We have a cabinet of lots of test batches that weren't quite perfect. But it's always good to try, and you never know what's going to work. So you do a lot of test batches. There are some bars that we've worked on for a couple years until we get it quite right. Other bars, we keep on doing new test batches and it's just not working out very well, and we decide to give it a break and maybe revisit it later. There are things that don't work out sometimes for various reasons, but that's okay. You have to learn from it, and then you have to move on and say, okay, that didn't work, why is that, and let's try something different.
Thank you.
Hi, Monica.
Hi.
I'm Josh. So my question for you is, how much chocolate do you think you have a day?
Okay, so I have quite a bit of chocolate every day. And I want to remind you, when you look at a chocolate bar, always look for the cacao percentage on the front, because that tells you the amount of seeds or beans that's in the bar. So our chocolate is naturally higher in percentages, so I know that I'm getting a lot of good seed content, which is actually really good for you. But I have to do a lot of taste testing. So I'd say on average, I have at least a full bar of chocolate every day, plus maybe some hot cocoa.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you take the beans and you put them into the roaster, and each bean type has a specific roast profile. Do you know what roast profile means?
It's like the temperature it's roasting.
Yes, temperature and time, and how we increase the temperature at what intervals. If I make a batch of my asocibite chocolate a year ago, I need to make it the same way so that you guys can have the same experience. Nothing is worse for a customer when they get something and they're hard to set on what they're going to taste like, and then they get it and it doesn't taste like that. Then they get mad, and my chocolate's expensive and it's good, and they're not going to want to buy my chocolate again. So I have to make sure that I'm consistent, right? So this is the roasted bean from what you tried downstairs, the asocibite. The only thing it is seeds. Does anyone want to try it? Do you like it better roasted? Why? What does it taste like?
It still tastes the same, but it's less moisture.
Less moisture.
Less moisture, less flavor.
Less moisture, but it's really good that you still taste the flavor. That means that we didn't roast out the flavor, right? All right, does anyone else want to try it? There's no sugar in here. It's just beans. It's dark and there's no sugar. It's basically ground seeds. So this is just beans, okay? Now what's gonna happen is you put all the seeds in, and then you put your sugar in. And then the wheels actually grind the sugar particles, and everything decreases in size. All right, so this is our single origin 70% dark chocolate from Peru, Ucayali. So the good thing about us, and something that I feel really strongly about, is that we're really clear about what we do. We're transparent and we're traceable with all of our steps and all of our ingredients. Does it taste like chocolate? Yeah? There's some sugar in it, right? Does it taste bitter?
No. Well, actually, yes.
There's a little bit of bitterness.
It's like bitter chocolate that you can't see.
But that's the thing. Dark chocolate doesn't have to be bitter. You just need good ingredients. These are the bars we did today. So when they're done,
Sorry.
You're okay. When you're done, you have chocolate bars that look like that. That's how they come out. Yeah, yeah. Let's try one. Let's see what it tastes like. All right, so when you eat chocolate, this is really important so that you know, because you're going to be professional taste testers after this. You take the piece, you smell it.
So it's like.
I can already smell it from here, too.
Yeah. And then you break it. Oh, there's a snap. It's in temper. Put it on your tongue. Give it some chews. Let it melt. Breathe in. 70% of tasting is smell.
Are you okay? I already hear the whole thing in my mouth.
There's another one. And you feel that creaminess on your tongue?
Yeah.
That's the good fat.
It's a party on my tongue.
Yeah, it's a party on your tongue. Yeah. So you then decide, do I like it or not? And if you like it, then you have more. And if you don't like it, then you don't have it. You know, it's not for everyone. It is for some others. You eat it when you want it. You don't have to. I just want to explain. So these are all of our pure dark, all the ones that are different colors. This is just pure dark chocolate, just beans and sugar. And if you try them, each one will taste differently, okay? So we have this, our single origin signature line, pure dark chocolate, maple sugar bar. Just won best chocolate in the world at the International World Finals Gold. Yes, 2 of our bars did. This one and so did our white chocolate. So this is really special. I know. So if you'd like to have a bar, you can each pick a bar. And let me know if you have more questions, and then I'll let you go because I've been talking a long time.
Thank you to the Rogan family for having us here. And thank you for another edition of Marlborough Junior Reporters. Have a good night.